By end of 2017, Uganda's population was estimated at 41 million and with an annual growth rate of about 3.3%. Much of this population is under the age of 15. Total fertility rate, or the average number of children per woman, has over time receded and currently stands at 5.1%. Statistics like these are used to rank how important the population of a country is towards its development. During the launch of the 2018 State of the Uganda Population Report, it was established that the country urgently needs to further reduce its fertility rate if it envisions a population age structure that may enable it to experience a demographic dividend.
Because we fundamentally believe and we're convinced that if you give a girl when she's an adolescent and as she grows up to become a young woman and then gets into her family life, the choice to decide if and when to have children and how many children and at what intervals, you will improve the well-being not only of her but of her family and of her community.
Demographic dividend refers to the growth in an economy that is the resultant effect of a change in the age structure of a country's population. The change in age structure is typically brought on by a decline in fertility and mortality rates.
Population to meaningfully contribute to economic development, it must be of the right quality, both in terms of demographics, knowledge, and skill set. I am glad to note that Uganda has already experienced and is still experiencing some demographic transition.
Family size is closely linked with reproductive rights, which in turn are tied to many other rights, including the right to adequate health, education, and jobs. Officials of the National Population Council believe Uganda is on track towards these achievements.
We are going to concentrate on making sure that we revitalize family planning services in terms of we are going to go further into the communities, not just provide services in the urban areas. We must go to where the majority of the people of Uganda live, and that is in the rural areas.
According to the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, much more must be done to effectively live up to this year's theme, which is good governance, a prerequisite to harness demographic dividend for sustainable development.
When I go to the rural areas, you'll find that the children are 4 times the number of the adults. So I keep asking myself, in this parish, do we have schools for these children? I always ask myself, do we have schools for these children? I don't think we do. So we need, Minister, you need to go back to the drawing board on education to ensure that those children will have somewhere to go.
Why waste time doing these things if they are not implemented?
From the projections of the National Population Council, Uganda will have a larger proportion of the population working age by 2040, and if they are able to secure employment, this will significantly contribute to economic growth. Whereas Uganda's economy has grown over the recent years and will still grow in the future, a significant proportion of the population has not benefited from the growth. And this is largely because the most expanding and employing sectors of the economy are capital intensive as compared to being labor intensive, meaning that they can only employ a smaller portion of the population. Walter Mwesije, NTV, Kampala.